Hey guys, so as you can see, I'm driving right now. I'm in my new car that I just got last night. It is a 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. Last year in the fall, I actually got involved in a hit and run accident, and the car was totaled. Luckily, I wasn't in the car, so I came out and looked at the car and it was completely totaled. A drunk driver hit it. And so for the last, I want to say 6 months, 7 months, I've been driving my dad's Tacoma, a 2016 Tacoma TRD Sport. In the meantime, I was like saving my money and I was trying to work towards buying a new vehicle. And I knew right off the bat that I wanted an SUV. I didn't really know what kind of SUV I wanted, but I knew that I needed an SUV because, while driving my dad's truck, I realized I don't need a truck bed. I don't haul anything. I don't put anything in the back. If anything, I carry a lot of my camera equipment that I would rather have be enclosed in a car rather than just laying out in like a truck bed. And so I kind of was deciding about, getting a small SUV like a RAV4, or trying to get something bigger like a Highlander or like an Armada, or even something kind of in between, kind of like a Pilot or like a Passport. And while I was, just doing my research, nothing fit my bill better than a 4Runner. It's a rugged car. It was right at my price point. It was big, but not too big. It was reasonably sized that it could fit everything I needed, but also small enough that it wasn't like a full-sized 3-row SUV family hauler, because I don't have kids, so I didn't really need something like that. And so that's how I decided on the 4Runner. I also wanted to do more off-roading and a little bit of camping this summer. I want to get more into that, so I kind of settled on the 4Runner. And I haven't had the car for a very long time, but I'm really happy with my decision. I think I made the right choice, and so far I'm loving it. The 2020 has got enough upgrades to it that it makes it comfortable for me to drive and for me to own. But let's get into the meat of this video, which is how did I negotiate 12% off the MSRP of my car. So I'll say right off the bat that knowledge is power, okay? And what I mean by that is there's a couple of things you need to know. One is you need to know the out the door price, and also you need to know the MSRP. Now those two numbers are oftentimes thrown out by dealerships, but they mean two different things, right? Out the door, for any of you guys who have never purchased a car or who are looking to purchase their first vehicle, out the door basically means it includes all your tax, titles, and registration. Everything is included in there, and that's the number that is going to be on the sales bill of out the door. Everything included in there, right? MSRP is basically what the car itself is worth, right? So that doesn't include any tax, title, or registration. And with that being said, most of the times dealerships will mark up their MSRP to be $6,000–7,000 more than the invoice fee, right? So invoice fee is what the dealership bought the vehicle for, right? That's how much they bought the vehicle for, and they're gonna mark it up to an MSRP of however many $1,000s they want to mark it up for. For example, my Toyota 4Runner cost $43,424. That's the MSRP, the sticker deal of my car, right? And a lot of times people go in and they just say, hey, you know what, give me your best price, and then the dealership will be like, oh, I can give you like $2,000 off, and you think that that's a great deal, when in reality the MSRP has been marked up by $8,000, $9,000, and that $2,000 discount they're giving you is actually very minimal. That might be a 1 or 2% discount, and that's not really effective, and that's not the best deal that you should really go for. So what I did was, first, even before I researched dealerships, before I even went to look at the car, I knew what price I was comfortable with paying. So for me, I like to deal in out the door prices, right? And so I knew that out the door, I wanted to pay $42,000 flat, nothing more than that. If someone could give me a better deal under that, then that's fine, that's great. And so that's the number that I wanted to work with. So the next day, oh, I will add this. You need a lot of patience for this. You need a lot of patience for this. This process took me almost 2 weeks to get through, right? So if you're looking for a car today, right now, this is not gonna work for you, because it's gonna require you to do a lot of homework, and it's also gonna require you to do a lot of work. And so back to my point is, it took me about 2 weeks to do this. I called up every single Toyota dealership within a 75-mile radius, right? That led me where I live in Oakdale. That also gave me dealerships in Wisconsin, right? And so I called up every single dealership within a 75-mile radius. That's what I was willing to drive to if the right vehicle had come up. And so I called every single dealership. I emailed all of them, and I gave them the same thing that I told everyone else, is I am looking for a metallic gray Toyota 4Runner 2020 with a moonroof, and I'm willing to pay 42 grand. That's it. Can you match that price, or can you beat that price? That's exactly what I said. Now you might be wondering, well, how did you get to that 42? Like, how did you like calculate that 42,000? Well, here's what you do. You can go to, there's a lot of useful sites out on the internet. One of them is called TrueCar.com. So TrueCar actually will let you know what the invoice price that the dealerships got the car for. So with that, I knew that the dealerships were getting this vehicle with this specific configuration for about $37,000, $38,000, right? And so tax, title, and registration in my area is about 6%. So I already knew that at a given, if they were getting this vehicle for about $37,000, right? Let's just say $37,000. You add $3,000 tax, title, registration, then you get to about 40 grand, 41 grand, right? And so that's going to be really hard to do, because that in itself is, you're shrinking the amount the dealership is making by so much that it's going to be hard to squeeze someone for that much. So I felt like, hey, you know what, at 42, that's comfortable for me. The dealership still has a little bit of wiggle room. It might be easier to negotiate. And so that's how I came up with that 42,000. And so I called everyone, I emailed everyone, and I will say that you're gonna talk to some dealerships where it's just a flat out no. They're not even gonna entertain that idea. They're not even gonna try to talk to you. They might not even want to speak to you. They might not even reply to you, right? And that happened to me a bunch of times. When I said 42, they were just like, no way, we don't want to talk to you, goodbye. We don't have a vehicle like that for you, don't want to talk, don't even want to deal with you. And so I left. I took my business somewhere else. And out of all the dealerships that I reached out to, only 3 of them were actually even willing to entertain that idea. And so what happened after that? So all 3 of these dealerships were willing to offer the car for 42, right? What happens after that is you have to compare the cars apples to apples, right? So these cars almost have to be identical to one another, right? The closer you can get them to one another, the better, right? And so this car, this specific car, had a moonroof and weather mats. The second vehicle had a moonroof and no weather mats. The third one had moonroof, no weather mats, but it also had a step bar, right? And so while you're negotiating, they're gonna use those things against you. Some of them, the one with the step bar said, oh, well, we have a step bar, so we're not gonna go down any more for you. The one with nothing was like, hey, you know what, we're willing to go down even more for you. But ultimately, I decided on this one with the weather mats, because I basically, what I did was I told them that, hey, these guys at dealership A was willing to give me this price. Can you beat it? And the dealership that I dealt with, they basically said, yes, we will beat that price for you by $100, right? And so basically what you're doing is, you as the consumer are getting the dealerships to start a bidding war for your business, right? You want them to earn your business, because ultimately this vehicle, there's many of them, right? If I weren't to buy, if I didn't buy it at one of these dealerships, I could go get it at any other dealership, right? And so there's one of you, but there's 3 of these cars. So let them earn your business. Let the dealerships earn your business, and let them earn your trust, and let them make you accept their deal, right? And so put them against one another. Don't feel bad about it. I know this sounds really manipulative, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be driving this car for the next 5-6 years. You need to get the best deal you can, right? And so pit these dealerships against one another and get the best deal, right? And so at the end of the day, these 3 dealerships went at it for about a good 2 days. And I settled on this one because, like I said, it had the best configurations, and it also had everything that I needed. And so when it came down to it, I think I got a really good deal. Like I said, the MSRP of my car was about $43,480 or $424. I negotiated it down to $38,528, and my out the door price was $41,900. So I beat my original price by about $100, which is great. I got about almost 12% off of the MSRP of my vehicle, which is great. I feel like a solid winner. I will say like this to you guys, anyone out there, that if you can get better than 8% off the MSRP of your car, take the deal. Take the deal. 8% is pretty high. The normal percent, I will say to you, is about 6 to 7%. That's a fair markup for dealerships. So if they're giving you like 5% off, you know, if you look at the number, it might be like $3,000. It might seem like you scored like such a big win, but if you really actually, if you know the invoice price of that vehicle, you'll know that they could give you more. So you need to squeeze them out for even more, right? You need to ask for even a bigger discount. So that's why I say knowledge is power. Do your research, take your time. And on an additional note to that, I will say that a lot of times people only worry about the price of the car. You need to also be aware of the interest rates you're paying for your vehicle, right? And so what I did was, the day before I went to purchase my vehicle, I went to my credit union. I had a really good rate from my credit union, and I was like, you know what, this is probably gonna be the best rate I could get. I went to the dealership and I asked them, I was like, can you beat my credit union's rate? And they said, well, we may be able to, let's see, right? And so they were pushing for it, and they actually beat my credit union's interest rate by almost half of a percent, which was really good, right? And so by that, I got 12% off the MSRP of my car. I also even negotiated to get 0.5% off of my interest rates, and all of that I got from just spending time and doing as much research as I could. So I hope you learned a little bit from what I just spieled to you and what I shared with you on this vlog, but I hope you also enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or shoot me a message. I'm more than willing to help you on your car buying purchase. Like I said, all these resources are free. They're open to the public. None of it is paid for at all. All of this information is out there in the public domain. So if you ever need anything, give me a shout out. I will be more than happy to help you guys out. So see you guys later, and I'll catch you in the next video.